Hello everybody, welcome back to another stream. As the title says, this one's going to be based on the AV-8B Harrier 2. This is made by the British and is the world's most famous SVTOL capable aircraft. They're pretty much obsolete now. We don't really use them. Some countries probably still do, but here in America we don't use them anymore. We use the F-35B for that. But I've had plenty of time in this aircraft, and I very much thoroughly enjoy it. It is a beautiful aircraft, and with that being said, we're going to get right into how to start it from cold and dark. Alright, here we are in the cockpit. Also, first thing I want to mention is I am playing on a new computer. This is the second stream I've done it on the new computer, and I am slowly getting the settings adjusted so it plays pretty well on stream, and my last stream was not exactly what I wanted it, so this is going to also be another test, but at the same time we're going to make it useful. So when you first get in the Harrier, in real life, you would open up the cockpit, or the canopy there, and the first things you want to go ahead and do is over here in the bottom right, you got the battery generator and an APU generator. You turn all three of them on. This will allow the APU to start up. Nothing else is needed in that aspect. While that's doing that, we can also go down here and turn on the oxygen. Do not really believe that is actually implemented as to where if you're high enough you'll black out. I don't think it's anything like that. But to be as real as possible, that's what you can do. You can go and turn on the position lights and the anti-collision lights there. Go ahead and hit whatever that is. And our fuel. Turn on our light here. Landing light, you could do that later if you wanted to, right before you take off. And this button up here is a big one to make sure you hit, the STOVL button. That really helps with your takeoff and landings. It'll help stabilize it a ton. We'll also go ahead and enable the flaps, which is right there. Now before we get started, there is one major thing you need to do in order to actually take this off like a helicopter in the vertical mode. So you're going to go in here to settings and click on whichever it is you're flying with. In this case I'm flying with the X-52, and you're going to want to find the increase propeller 1 pitch. Kind of ignore this one up top. That is for my DC-6. No, excuse me, that's for the V-22 Osprey. So find this increase propeller 1 pitch and assign that to a button, and then you will want to find decrease. The increase and decrease there is what actually controls the angle of the thrusters, or whatever you want to call them. These things right there. You'll see it move here, and that's what happens when you move them. Now, if you push it all the way forward, which that is what this is right here, you can see it's moving. If you push it all the way forward or down, whichever way you want to look at it, whichever way you program it into your controller, if you keep it all the way down, you're actually going to kind of take off backwards, actually, and it'll make it kind of difficult to control. So I always bump mine up a few times till it has about the same amount of spacing between those numbers as to the last number and the actual control. Another way to line it up is just go outside of your aircraft here and just look actually at them. You want them to be pretty level with your the relative surface to the ground. So now that we've got that taken care of, we're going to go in here and hit engine start. And go ahead and turn on all 3 of these fuel pumps. And you will start to hear the engine cranking up. And go ahead and close the canopy back. Another thing you can do while you're waiting for that is go ahead and adjust your altimeter to the correct barometric pressure via either the auto button or get it from your air traffic control or the ATIS, however you want to do it, AWAS. And we can hear it spinning up nice and beautifully. I will mention while we're waiting on this is I have got to see one of these in person. It was quite a long time ago, and it is a very loud jet, but it is very, very cool. I recently just went to see the F-35 in person, and it was the absolute most loudest jet I've ever heard in my life. Alright, we're ready to roll. Everything looks good, which it should, because I don't have failures enabled or anything. I ain't going to get into anything else, so now that we're there. So what we're going to do is, as we are taking off, we're going to balance it with the joystick, kind of like a helicopter almost. It's not quite as difficult. You don't really have to worry about your rudder or anything. So we're just going to slowly increase. Start to lift off the ground nice and slow. There you go. Just leave your landing gear extended for now just in case. As you're flying up, maintain that balance. And just get as high as you feel that you need. You can use the rudder here to turn it. It is a very slow aircraft when it turns. And I feel good right here, so what I'm going to start to do is slowly use that button. You'll hit it twice. You see it's rotating forward some there. You don't want to go too fast. You can go pretty fast with it. Depends on how high your altitude is. So while we're doing this, we're going to pay attention to our ground speed. You can see mine up in the top left there. It's going to the 5th one over from the left. And I'm going to wait till I start to get around 80 to 100 knots. Once I do that, I'm going to hit the flaps button and retract them. It could get a little unsteady for a second, but that'll allow you to start increasing speed even greater. But we'll go ahead and pull my landing gear up now. Bumping the propeller pitch a couple more times to rotate the engines towards the back. Just doing it nice and slow. As long as you've got a good rate of climb and you ain't descending like crazy, you're doing everything just fine. And I should also mention we just took off from Patrick Space Force Base down in Florida, just south of Cocoa Beach and Satellite Beach. Also will make y'all aware that I'm only about 80% thrust and have been since we took off, 75 to 80%. There's no need to use full thrust. And got plenty of speed, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate all the way back. You will see I lost a little bit of altitude, but it's no big deal. Went very much at all. We're smooth sailing now. I will go ahead and hit 100% throttle now. Again, no necessarily need for it. And we're going to fly up here to Titusville, and we'll probably make a hard U-turn back. We'll probably head to Melbourne, which will probably be where we land. This is kind of a slower jet. It is very, very, very heavy, but it can get pretty close to Mach 1. depending on how much fuel you have in your aircraft. Which I am going to make sure I put on right now a little bit more so I'm not out. But other than not being the fastest jet in the toolbox, it is very good. I mean, it controls very, very well. You can definitely get the job done for whatever your need is. Hopefully the quality of this stream is better than the last one. Let's get out over to the left side here. There is the MSFS building. Actually get ready to pass the visitor center for the Kennedy Space Center. Pretty much heading right towards Space Coast Regional Airport right now. I'm not sure why it's saying it's foggy there. It always does for some reason. It is definitely sunny in this area right now with no visibility issues. And there's Space Coast coming into view. Do a little slow hover up here. Why not? Alright, so we're going to kill the engines. Deploy the speed brake just to try to help slow us down a little here. And as I'm doing that, since I am full killed on the throttle, I'm going to go ahead and move my things to about I don't know, 45 degrees from, it's kind of hard to explain, about halfway basically. And I'm going to start giving it some thrust here. I will go ahead and lower the flaps because that will help a lot. I'm going to slowly start lowering the engines to the horizontal or vertical direction. And you'll kind of have to just play with the throttle right here till you get it balanced out pretty well. Bumping our engines angle down a little bit. And pretty close. Don't want to go too fast or too much. It's like we're pretty much parallel to the ground here now, so I should pretty much hover and move on a little bit. And this is what happens if you push it all the way forward. And you can kind of see I'm starting to go backwards now. Very slowly, but I am going backwards. It does that way you can actually help slow the aircraft down a little more. I have now moved it back to the horizontal, parallel to the ground about right here. And we'll start bumping back forward a little bit. You can see there. Just start cruising forward a little bit. We are giving downtown Titusville a show right now. And I'm going to raise my flag back up. Now I'm going to more aggressively, 100% with the throttle here, more aggressively retract in a little faster than we did last time, since I am full thrust. Now we are in full flight mode here. Do a nice big U-turn here. When it comes to weight and trying to do hovers and landings and stuff, technically I think it's 21,000 pounds of fuel or less. is what the handbook would say. However, though, I have been able to take it off from the vertical mode with full fuel only when I'm close to sea level, though, where the air is the most dense. If you have full fuel when you go somewhere that's like 6,000 or 8,000 foot altitude, you're going to have an issue. Even if you do make it off the ground, it might take you absolutely forever to get any altitude till you start burning off some of that weight of the fuel. But let's take this thing way up to the sky just to see what it looks like. As you can see, I am losing speed pretty quick, which that is indicated, so it's not 100% accurate actual speed, because if you look at actual speed, not the ground speed. And that's just because the air is thinner, so it don't register as well. Just level off here for a moment. Fuel there. Wouldn't be good to run out the flight. And we probably are going pretty close to Mach 1. That would be short-lived. Just went through a little bit of rain there. We're getting close to Melbourne International now, so I'm going to pull back on the throttle here just to kill some of it. If you overshoot it, it's no big deal. You can always do a 180 and come back in. And we'll go about 25% throttle here. I'm even going to go ahead and start rotating my engines down just a tad. Increase my throttle back up. I'm still a couple miles out. The more you fly with this, the better you get at judging your distances and when to start rotating and slowing down, all that stuff. I'm about 70% throttle right now, probably. With the engine angled down maybe 15-20 degrees. That is Melbourne just up to the right there in that open patchy area. Okay, start slowing up, rotating engines out more. I'm going to land on runway 27, I think it is. I will note, do not deploy your landing gear until you're below 182 knots on the indicated airspeed. If you don't have damage turned on, then you ain't got nothing to worry about, but if you do, it could end your flight prematurely. Alright, rotate my engines out pretty good right now. Alright, we're low enough speed, I'm going to throw the landing gear down. Knock down the flaps here. A little bit more throttle here. rolling landing here, so I'm not going to put my engines perfectly parallel to the ground here. I'll just do a touch and go here, and then after I take back off, I will do a true vertical landing just to demonstrate how that's done. Alright, get lined up with the runway here. I'm going to pull back on the throttle some. Oh. Frame rate is to the nosedive here for some reason. A little harder landing than I wanted. Take back off. I do have a mod installed for this airport. Maybe that could be the reason. I've dealt with a drop in FPS like that. Wow. We're actually going to pull the landing gear up, go ahead and raise the flaps up. We're actually going to go 100% throttle, and we're going to go somewhere else. You can see if it's some type of mod issue or something else going on. Of course, out of all times, it's going to do it while I'm streaming. This is my first flight today, but I flew several times yesterday with different aircraft and never experienced an issue. So we're just going to go back to Patrick now. She's right around the corner. It up there, and it's only like 5 miles out from here, so I'm not going to ever put the engines back into pure parallel flight mode, whatever you want to call it. Kill some of that airspeed. My goal is to go ahead and get lowered down to low enough to put the landing gear out. There we go, and the flaps down. closer. one thing to make sure of is it's easier to land in the direction of the wind. After you land, the wind could catch you and kind of toss you around a little. I ain't really landing in the direction of the wind right now, but alright, I've pretty much got them parallel now. The engines to the ground. Give it a little throttle here, and I can kind of see them just hovering here, which is good. The wind's actually pushing me, which is going to move on sideways. I'll rotate it some towards the wind just to keep it from pushing me. I'm facing the wind now. As you can see, I'm perfectly hovering now. I'm going to reduce the throttle some. And just nice and easily touch it down. There we go. Throttle's all the way killed, and that is the demo for the Harrier. Hopefully it makes sense as to how to better control it now, and things to do and things to not do. And I hope you find this video interesting and it may be helpful. I'm trying to think of some other good videos to do. I've got a few more ideas coming. And if you ever want to see anything particular, as always, just leave a comment or a message or anything you want to do or any way you want to get it across, and I can make it happen. And that is going to be the conclusion of this video. And I hope you enjoyed, as I was saying earlier, and can join the next stream. Thanks for watching.